Act 5-4, Powers That Be. So this is my least favourite level in the new chapters. It starts off with a Troika getting supported by some wretches. So just introduce the wretches to the concept of any which way but loose. Sorry. And watch as I get snuck up on by a wretch here. This is really interesting. Two guys in front. One guy there, just chilling out. And who's that guy? Whoa! That guy got a broken hitbox, so he didn't hit me. You see, I had my trainer on with my invincibility, so he couldn't touch me. Maybe he had bad depth perception, I don't know. Do locusts suffer from cataracts? I think I shot Cole then. Take a shot. It's definitely a shot-worthy shooting Cole. Two shotgunners as well, be very careful here, guys. But somebody commented on the video saying they remember taking more damage on Gears of War 1. And the reason you took more damage on Gears of War 1, dude, is because you were probably much closer than I am to the enemy and you were actually getting shot. One of the things you'll notice in this walkthrough is I don't really get shot that often. When you do get shot, you take incredible damage. And depending on what guns are, will depend on just how much that damage is. Do you see those booms just then? It looked like one of them had the parabolic arc and one of them didn't. Ah, that was a mistake. Boo. That can kill you too, be careful doing that. There you go, much better. But the two boomers go down and then there's just the power lines. And you might wonder why this is my least favourite mission of the new ones. It's just the section inside where you have to press the buttons. I think they've designed it very poorly. There's a lot of sequences where when you do an objective, an enemy spawns on top of you. And I don't like things like that. And then when you go downstairs, it doesn't really communicate that you're not going to be able to pick up the ammo when you press the button. So you'll go for the button immediately to try and get it done so that you can move on. And then you don't get a chance to pick up grenades and things. And you end up getting... It's kind of screwed, which I don't really like the flow of that section. This section's fine though. Just use this cover at the doorway to peek all the snipers and the Torque Therons and things. There's a nice headshot for him. That guy just chucked a grenade. Luckily for us, it was a bad grenade. And the last guy I think is on the left-hand side here, hugging the wall, looking all uncomfortable. Yeah, I remember him. See him? What is that guy doing? Where was he doing? What is he? There's a failed reload. Take a shot. Such a weird thing too. Like my active timings are usually second to none. It's one of the things that I wouldn't say I'm bad at, you know. But every so often, definitely mess them up. There we go. That's the end of that fight. But it's this encounter here, guys. This is kind of it's like a 3-stage encounter. It does have a checkpoint. But it's just the final part of this room, and I just don't like it much. So, we have two Therons on the balcony. One of them has a Lancer, one of them has a Torque Bow. They die in one Torque round, and we can get an extra 5 shots from that guy. There's Dom wasting my Torque round, which is nice. I just heard a hammer burst telling me that there's more enemies to come. There's one. Ooh, that was nice. The side strafing headshot. Always good to hit those. But if you're playing this... If you're following my walkthrough and you're using the strategies, but you're using it with different weapons, how effective are some of the strategies? Because, of course, you've seen me snipe a lot of things. A lot of these fights are going to take a lot longer if you're using a Lancer or a Hammer Burst, but you can still do them because, you know, I think the best strategies are the ones where we can seal things, but in this area of the game, there's almost nothing to seal. It's a very deliberate, you have to fight everybody kind of moment, and Dom right now is just being crazy. Oh, did you see that, by the way? That was amazing. The Theron in the background hit his own Theron with a Torque round, and it did no damage to him. Which I thought was really fascinating. Does he do it again? He did it again! Look at that, he just double torqued him. And maybe it did damage him, that was a grenade. Get the hell out of there. They're very good with the grenades, guys, don't even test them. That was a headshot, nice. Anybody else? Oh, come on. I totally did not mean to do that. Interesting. Oh my god, what was that? Gears of War. He didn't even duck that. I just got robbed. Oh, that was nice. Oh my god, again. Terrible. Take the shots, guys. I hope you're still alive. So I would remove this sequence and blur to the next one, but the fight is literally on the corridor outside of this one. And I need to pick this Torque Bow up, so I left it in. You can see a lot of the aliasing is not the best. You see on the girders how they've got like the stutter stepping. The game still looks wonderful. And I do have anti-aliasing on, but I just don't think it's high enough to smoothen those edges out. It has to be said, though, there's a charm to the unsmooth edges, and I don't mind it whatsoever. This game looks so beautiful to me. And it looked beautiful when it came out. You know, if you had good technology back then, you could run it looking just like it looks right now. It's just crazy. I don't know if you'd have been able to run it at the higher frame rates, because of course you have to remove the caps by using the console and the config and everything. But it would have still looked pretty damn good. And 60 frames is still a lot nicer than 30, because let's face it, the console versions of these games are technical masterpieces for their time, but they don't run well. I mean, they do run well, but they don't run well, you know what I mean. There's the boomer. He can be a problem, just because of his vantage point and the splash damage from the boom. But this is the part I don't like anyway, guys. You have to move around these areas pressing buttons, and every time you press a button, it triggers some kind of spawn. And the spawns are always Therons with Lancers, and they're always quite close too, so the cover's not the best because you can't go against cover on the mesh fences, so it just leads to some really awkward moments. And there's one coming up here that I'm about to kill. I throw a grenade to try and preempt this guy and it doesn't work, so I'm just wasting grenades here, guys, because the spawn is super fiddly. So put your torque bow on, start cranking it, and then hit him as he comes out. If you don't do what I just did then, when you turn that valve, he'll come out of the door by himself. It's a programmed spawn, and it's one of the ones I really don't like. If you could plant a grenade, it wouldn't be a problem. You could stick a grenade on the floor, do the sign, and he'd kill himself. But the planting grenades came along in Gears 2. So turn this one. You have to turn 3 of them before you get a checkpoint as well. So if you die, you'll go back to the top of the stairs with the boomer kill and everything. But come over here, there's a second valve on this one. You just heard somebody fire a sniper round just then. I think it might be Baird. He's in the opposite control room. But that cue tells you that more enemies are coming, I think. Yeah, did you hear him? They're going to come out of this doorway, and then they're going to come up that stairs, and if they come up the stairs, it's going to get really bad. So you want to try and neutralize them before they get a chance to. I'm not going to mess around here, guys. I'm going to use the torque bow, but watch how quickly these Therons damage me when they shoot me. Because I'm close, and because they're using Lancers, you're going to see damage like you've never seen so far, because they're really lethal. Like, those 2 bursts just then were nothing, but when he actually shoots at me, see that? That's immediately to half cog. And what was that, half a second? Like, if he'd have done a full burst on me, you've got to be so careful. It's very dangerous. That was another sniper round, which makes me think something else is still there. There's another Theron. That was the problem with the Therons in the multiplayer if you never played this game online. They made so much bloody noise that they often gave away their team. And famously, when they roadied ran, they sounded very asthmatic, so that gave away the team as well. So if you're playing Gears 1 multiplayer, never pick Therons, guys. You're at a disadvantage with people with headsets, and because of Call of Duty, we've conditioned an entire generation of gamers to all have really expensive headsets. So be very careful. Is he going to come, really? I don't think he's going to come. No, this guy's a coward. Jumping over cover in the back of the spawn for some reason. That's the guy with the Boltok. Look at that! That was one Boltok shot, that. Immaculate damage. He's just unfortunately. You can't aim on this cover for some reason. That's the reason I had to get off it just then, if you're wondering. And then I'm going to go in the room now and hit the switch. Don't, guys. Go in the room, pick up the ammo, pick up the grenades or whatever's in this room, and then hit the switch. Because once you do this, it ends the level. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.